Welcome to Ask and Learn.
So they want us to determine if these four are posets or not. Well, let's go ahead and first write out the definition of poset, because that might help us a little bit actually. So remember, for something to be a poset, we need three things to be true. So the first is that it is reflexive, which means if A is an element of our set, then AA is an element of R. Then we need to check if it is anti-symmetric, which means that if AB is an element of R and BA is an element of R, then A has to be equal to B. And then the last one is transitivity, which says if AB and BC are elements of R, then AC must also be in R. So we need these three to hold, and if one of them doesn't, then it's not. All right, so let's go ahead and check this. So we're on the integers, and we're using equality. Well, any number is equal to itself, so reflexive holds trivially. Anti-symmetric, well, that also holds. And actually, we can even think about what this set is. This is really just all the AA, where A is just some integer. So this is only a list of like AA, BB, CC, or like 0, 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, negative 1, 1, negative 2, 2, negative 3, 3, and so on. So anti-symmetric would also hold as well, and it's going to be transitive because the only numbers that are equal to themselves are themselves. So this is a poset. All right, now what about B over here? So it's not equal to. So this fails being reflexive. So fails since 1 is equal to 1. So 1 equal to 1 implies 1, 1, not an element of R. So we can go ahead and just say it's not reflexive due to that, and we don't need to check the other ones. Okay, now what about greater than or equal to? Okay, well, it's definitely reflexive since all numbers are greater than or equal to themselves, so that checks. What about anti-symmetric? Well, let's say we have this A, B, and would we be able to have BA in the set? Well, if A is greater than B and B is greater than A, then the only way that can happen is if A is equal to B. So it has to be anti-symmetric due to that. And now what about transitive? Well, if we have A greater than B and B greater than C, greater than or equal to, I mean, then A is definitely greater than or equal to C. So that one also checks out. So this will be a poset. All right, now what about over here? So remember, this symbol here means not divisible. So this is going to fail with the reflexive since A can divide A. So if you just have like 5, 5 can definitely divide 5. So that implies that 5, 5 is not an element of R. So this fails for reflexive.